Hey everybody, it's Kyle here. Welcome back to another video. This is the day after my PT session. I usually try to do these the day of, but yesterday it just wasn't coming out right, so I'm hoping today is a lot better. But yesterday in PT, I was kind of surprised because I wasn't really aware of that it was coming. Um, but I had to be reevaluated for PT because my original prescription was ending. And, so now they have to reevaluate me to see, do I still need it? And the answer is yes, I do. Uh, if you've seen the I Was Scared video, you know I had a mini freak out about potentially dealing with scoliosis or, other issues with alignment that couldn't be fixed with PT, and potentially they might still not be, but after the evaluation that I had yesterday, I feel a lot more calm about it, and we are going to see how it goes with working on my core and see if there's any improvement, and respond as we move along. And if things aren't working out, if I'm not responding well, then we will look into other types of action, potentially surgery. But yesterday with the eval, it was a lot of, lay on your stomach, lay on your back, bend this way, bend that way, twist this way, twist that way. And they took a bunch of measurements to see, had I increased my range of motion, things like that. And the overall report from that evaluation was that I have made progress. And that's reassuring to me because, I'm putting in all this hard work, making sure I do my exercises twice a day, going to therapy and see my therapist twice a week. And you just hope that you respond well, because the alternative is that you don't. And, then we have to find a new plan of action. So to hear that progress has been made, an example would be I couldn't bend my left leg fully. Didn't have full extension. I wasn't at 0 degrees, which is straight. Yesterday, I was straight. My leg was straight. And that just felt good. I'm not sure what number I was at before, but he said, Kyle, you couldn't even bend your leg all the way straight before. So, that's reassuring to hear. And they just made me feel really good about, the progress that I have made, and, the progress that I still need to make. They made me feel good about it in trying these new exercises. I've already added a new one to my home routine to work on my core muscles. They feel like if I'm able to engage my core more, that will increase stability in my pelvis and just in balance too, which is something with CP that you're always working on. I call myself a professional faller with all the years and falls that I have, survived. So, it's always good to work on your balance. And, I've always had a bit of curvature to my spine, and from that evaluation, without x-rays or anything, they do feel that the curve hasn't, isn't severe and can be corrected to some degree with physical therapy. Again, with the caveat that if I don't respond well to these, then we will revisit it and the treatment plan. But for my personal, mental health, I'm happy that we are attempting these physical therapy exercises to, kind of as a baseline, because I'm very much so a worst case scenario type of person when it comes to health. I'm like, oh no, something's wrong. It's like worst case scenario. So it helps calm me and relax me to know that they feel like there is a good chance that I will respond well. And if there isn't, then we will revisit and move on from there. But it just felt good to be reassured that I am making progress, and because therapy is hard work. I can't lie to you. There are days when I don't want to do it, and I have to talk myself into it, talk myself up, but I make sure that I do it, even if it's, right before bed, the second one. The first one's the easiest one to get. The second one sometimes isn't, but I always make sure I do it. And, sometimes I have to take breaks in between just to, I'm not feeling it. And to know, though, that even though, I haven't been wanting to do them, and I'm pushing myself to do them, it is paying off, and they are noticing improvement. And, that's all I wanted, because it seems weird that I started physical therapy, I believe, October 3rd, and here we are almost to the beginning of December. And, it felt weird when they said, hey, we need to reevaluate you because your original prescription is about to expire, so we need to extend you. And to know that, like, yes, you've made progress, yes, we want to continue making progress. It's just like a really good feeling, because you doubt, you wonder, like, is this all going to be worth it? And it has been, and I'm so thankful to my physical therapist Greg, and now we're working with the PT student Rebecca and just their team, and I'm going to be working with one of my old therapists coming up in December. So I'm just thankful to everyone that has helped me on this journey. My parents for encouraging me to do it, everybody, because it is paying off, and I can't wait to see where I go as I continue. I don't meet with my doctor for about 3 weeks. So what I am going to do, well, I'm curious to know what they're going to tell her from this eval, and how they think I'm doing, like what they tell her as to what they tell me. I'm not saying it's going to be different, but it might be worded differently, or they might add extra stuff, and they might talk really nice about me. I don't know, but that's the kind of stuff I want to know, and I do want to ask her when I do see her, how long are you extending the prescription for? Just to give myself, a baseline of, hey, I'll give you a month. I think you could do this in a month. And obviously, if we still needed more than a month, we would just, my therapist would ask for an extension. But if she's like, hey, I'll give you 6 months, 6 months, I know I have at least 6 months to work my tail off to see where I can get. So I'm not, like, at first, when I first started this PT journey, I originally was hoping that it was something that could be worked through in a few sessions, like in the very beginning, like right now would be the time where they would say that I was done, and I'd be really happy. But as I've worked and seen how I feel and how, like, good I feel, and I want to keep feeling good, and I don't want to stop short of something even better than where I am now. So, I'm just going to keep pushing forward and trying my absolute hardest to improve and work upon myself. And, hopefully when they eval me again, we'll have even better numbers, and, I'll see even more progress. And, I just can't wait to see what comes of this journey now, because I see the longevity of it. Because when they were talking about the curvature of the spine, the head therapist, who I also know, told me, Kyle, it's only going to get worse if we don't, work on it. And she demonstrated, like leaning tower, like I'll just start going like this, and that's not what I want. So I really want to be able to live my best life now, in the future, when I'm 40, 50. I want as much mobility as possible. And just the longer I'm in therapy, the more ingrained it will be in me to do therapy like exercises once I'm done, because at some point I will be done. And it's going to be then up to me again. And I can always go back if there are problems, yes. But the more and longer that I'm in therapy, the more second nature it's going to be just to like continue doing the same types of exercises once I'm done. And yes, that should have been me 8 years ago. But I blame myself and the idea I put in my head of like, they said I'm good, like I've made it, and I coasted downhill. And that's where I landed here now. But now I'm much more mature in my understanding of my CP and what it takes to take care of myself, and the goals I have for myself, and again the bigger picture of it all. So the longer I am in therapy, the more second nature it is just going to be continue. And I've gotten a lot more active since being in therapy. Trying to walk. I walked my mile, and then I walked a mile and a half, and I'm trying to work my way up to a 5K. Eventually, I have better and bigger fitness goals than I ever had before. So that's also a motivating factor. So it was a nice check-in to say, hey Kyle, you're doing good, and they made me feel really good about it. So I'm hoping that I can continue on with it, and I will continue as long as I am able. And here's to the future. But now, because of the eval, we didn't get to necessarily work as hard as like a typical session, because they needed to make sure they had every type of measurement that they needed. So we did get to exercise some, which is where they showed me my new exercise to work on my core strength. And we did a little bit, but I believe tomorrow is going to be more intense and like a more normal session of like stretching and then exercising, from start to finish, rather than like getting this big eval out of the way and then trying to do a little bit with the time that we had left, because 45 minutes isn't a whole lot of time. So, you have to pack it in when you can. And yesterday just wasn't the day to do that. So this Thursday, tomorrow, will be a real test of working on my core and everything. So be on the lookout for Tuesday's video, and like my first like hardcore session of like my new goals that we're working on, core strength and stability. And next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, I go for my fitting for my new braces. Well, hopefully new braces. They could tell me, hey, we're just going to repad your old ones, but I'm really hoping I get new ones. So that will be Thursday's video as well. So if you're looking forward to any of that, please give this video a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications every time I post a video, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. Share this with a friend that you feel that you could, that you want to see and that they could benefit from, and tell them to share with their friends too. Because I really want to just spread this message that, working on yourself matters, and especially with CP, and I hope to be spreading positivity with these videos. So I just want to help continue to spread that, and you guys sharing that really helps me do that. Comment down below if you have had similar experiences to me. I just love talking to people in the comments and establishing relationships. So I hope you will join the family, and I will see you next time.